In this video, I'm going to show you how to go back and forth between DeltaMath and Desmos, and we're going to talk about specific types of problems. You're going to have a section in DeltaMath to do that's multiple choice. It's actually two sections, but they're very similar. And what we're going to do is go back and forth between Desmos and DeltaMath and try to get the answers to match. And you'll see what I mean as we do this. I'm going to pull up Desmos and DeltaMath and show you what I mean. So here is DeltaMath, and this is the type of problem I want you to do. It says, which expression is equivalent to 3 to the 0 times 3 to the negative third? And we can plug every bit of this into Desmos and be able to solve this very easily. So make sure that you have paper so that you can copy this down. So I'm going to write down on a piece of paper 3 to the 0 times 3 to the negative 3. And then my four choices are 1, 0, 1 over 3 cubed, and 3 cubed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Desmos and I'm going to type in that first expression they gave us, 3 to the 0, and I'm going to do the keyboard here. For my multiplication, I'm going to hit the times button, and then I'm going to do 3 to the negative third. And notice here it gives me a decimal, 0.037037, and it looks like that continues, or it's a repeating decimal. So if you go back here to DeltaMath, these four choices here, well, we know it's not 1. 0.037037 is not 1. It's not 0. So it's got to be one of these. It's either 1 over 3 cubed or 3 cubed. So I'm going to go back in here to Desmos. I'm going to do another box. I'm going to do 1 over 3 cubed. And look, they match. So 1 over 3 cubed matches this right here. So I know that is my answer. So when I go back into DeltaMath, I pick 1 over 3 cubed, submit my answer, yes, and I know I got it right. I'm going to go to a new problem. This one says 6 to the negative 2 times 6 to the fourth. So I'm writing that down. 6 to the negative 2 times 6 to the fourth. I'm going to go into Desmos. I'm going to clear out the others. I'm doing 6 to the negative 2 times, I'm going to hit the times button, 6 to the fourth. That gives me 36. So I'm going to go back into DeltaMath. That one was 36. Okay, which one of these would be 36? I believe that would be 6 squared, but I can go in Desmos if I'm not sure. I can type in 6 squared and see if that's it if you don't know for sure. And yes, they match. So it would be 6 squared. And if you don't know that, you could put all four of these in to see which one matches. Looking at this one, it says in parentheses 4 to the 0 to the negative 6. So I'm going to put that into Desmos just like I see it there. So I'm going to retype it. And again, I have copied this on paper. So there's 4 to the 0, and then that is then raised to the negative 6 power. So there it is. It says that the answer is 1. I go to DeltaMath. There's 1. I hit submit. Yes. And we got it correct. Here are some problems that are a little bit more complicated. They might have some more division in them. So for something like this, I'm going to copy that problem down. So I've got 4 raised to the negative second, all raised to the negative first, over 4 to the negative 1. So I'm going to put this in Desmos. So when I go in parentheses, I'm going to try to type it in exactly as I saw it in DeltaMath. 4 to the negative 2, all raised to the negative 1. That's over 4 raised to the negative 1 power. You see there, that gives me a 64. So if I go back into DeltaMath, 64 is this one. It matches. I hit submit. Yes. And it works. So you see here we can retype these problems into Desmos and get the answer really easily without having to do any work. And that's what we want to get in the habit of doing. When they give us a problem, we copy it on our paper. So I'm copying this one, 4 squared to the 0 times 4 cubed. I'm going to type that into Desmos exactly as I see it. So I type that into Desmos exactly as they had it. So that's in parentheses, 4 raised to the 2nd power, in parentheses, all to the 0 power. And then using my keyboard, it's times 4 raised to the 3rd power. That gives me 64. So I go back to DeltaMath. 64, submit, yes, we got it right. Let's do one more problem. This one's a little more complicated. I put in parentheses 3 to the negative 1 over 3 to the 6. That whole thing is in parentheses. And then that is raised to the negative 5th. So I'm going to type it into Desmos exactly as I see it there. So in parentheses, I had a 3 raised to the negative 1 over 3 raised to the 6th. And then I end that set of parentheses. And then I raise that to the negative 5th power. I see here that that is 5.0031545099 times 10 to the 16th. So I want to go back to DeltaMath. I want to look at all of these different problems and see which one I can get to match. After I copy these 4 things down, the first one was 3 to the 25th. I have 3 to the 35th. I have 1 over 3 to the 35th. And I have 1 over 3 to the 12th. I'm going to go back into Desmos. In the next line, I'm going to type each of these in. 3 to the 25th. Well, that does not match, so I know it's not that one. The next one said 3 to the 35th. That one matches. Look at that. It matches exactly. So we know this is 3 to the 35th. I go back to DeltaMath. I type in or click 3 to the 35th. I hit submit, yes, and we got it right. So you see, every bit of these problems, every one of them can be done in DeltaMath. You got to make sure you have got some paper. You write that stuff on paper, put it into Desmos, and it'll give you the answer as long as you've typed it in the way it was presented to you. It's going to be real easy to solve these problems. So that's what I want you to do for today's assignment.